Hey, what's up guys? It's Pedro here from noobcoder.com, and in this tutorial we are going to be talking about string interpolation. So in the previous tutorial we ended up going over string concatenation, so we built this string here. So we got this following output and building it using string concatenation. But there are other ways of building out strings, and that is with string interpolation. So basically what string interpolation is you have a string literal, and within this string, you'll have placeholders. These placeholders will get replaced by data. So that sounds confusing. Let's start off with an example. We'll be going over 3 different ways of doing this. So the first way of doing this is C style formatting. So this is with the %sign. So let's say that I have the string. I'm just going to copy this to make our lives a little easier. And we have our string literal here. Now what I need are placeholders. So our placeholders are going to be where our first name, last name, and age is. So within our placeholders, we could just remove Bob and say %s. So that stands for string. And replace Smith with the same thing because it's just a placeholder. We're going to replace it with first name, last name, like so. So we have my age is 20. So we'll replace 20 with %s. Next, what we can do is use a % here followed by parentheses. And now we need to provide the data that is going to replace our placeholders. So our first thing we're going to pass in is first name. Second is going to be last name. And this is going to be in order. So first name is going to replace this S, this %s, and then last name is going to replace this %s. And then finally, we'll just pass in age, and this will replace %s here. So let's actually save this within a variable. So we'll say C style formatting. Go ahead and save this. And let's go ahead and print this out and see what we get. So we go ahead and save. Go ahead and execute the program. And you see that we get the same exact output. So the first output is using string concatenation. And the second output is our string interpolation. So basically you have a string literal like we defined. We have a bunch of placeholders using %s. And then we need to provide data for these placeholders. So our placeholders data is provided using parentheses and is passing in whatever data you want. Okay, so this is the first way I'm showing you, and this is the old school way. So now let me show you another way. So now let's create another variable. We'll call it the format method, and this is string interpolation as well. So first we need our string literal. So just go ahead and copy this. Let us paste that here. Next, we need our placeholders. So with the format method, instead of using %s, you use curly braces, like so. So Smith is going to get replaced. Replace that with curly braces. My age is, and let's go ahead and remove the 20. Now from here, we're going to use a method. So a method is just a function that belongs to a class. So we'll go over what a method is and functions later within this video. So we use .format, and to call this method, we use parentheses. And now it's time to provide the data that you want to replace these placeholder values. So just like our C style formatting, you just pass the data within here. So we say first name, last name, and age, for example. Now what I could do is we could go ahead and print this out and see if we get the same output. Go ahead and save. Now we could go ahead and execute this. You see that we get the same exact output. Another way you could do this is you could provide what order you want your data to appear in. So for format, let's say this is position 0, position 1, and position 2. Let's say I want to print out my last name first and then first name. So I'll say position 1 because I want last name first. So I'll just pass in 1 here. And then I want my first name. First name is in position 0. So we put 0 here. And then age is at position 2. So I go ahead and save. Go ahead and execute. And you can see that Smith and Bob get reversed. So the order in which you provide the data doesn't matter as much with format. You could change the order by using the positions within these curly braces. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that just to make everything the same. Go ahead and save and rerun it. And we're back to where we were. All right, so we have the old school style, which is C style. We have these semi-new school, which is getting outdated format method. What is the new way of doing it? So the new way of doing this is called f-strings. So let's come down here and let's create a variable. We'll call it f-style format or f-strings. And here we'll get our string literal. Go ahead and create that. Now within f-strings, all you need to do is add an f to the beginning of the string. Now this f can be lowercase or it could be uppercase. It doesn't matter. But most people will keep this lowercase. So you have an f at the beginning of your string. Now we need our placeholders. So our placeholders is going to be the same as the format method. So we'll replace Smith with curly braces, and we'll replace 20 with curly braces. So what is the difference between the format method and f-style? Is that you could actually pass the variable name within the curly braces. So I could just say first name, like so, last name, and we'll just pass in age. So now if I print this out, go ahead and save this, execute it, we get the same exact output. So f-strings is the newest way of doing it. And just to prove that you could use a capital, let's make this a capital F, save it and run it. You get the same exact output. So it doesn't matter if you use lowercase or uppercase. Most people will just use lowercase. So these are pretty much all the ways that you could use string interpolation. One little note that I will make is that you do not have to convert age into a string. So you can see this %s means that I want a string to be replaced. So this will automatically convert age into a string for you. Same thing with the format method. It's automatically going to be done for you, so you don't have to worry about type. Same thing with the f-style formatting. So that's the one gotcha that's different between string concatenation and string interpolation. So that is pretty much all I wanted to cover within this tutorial, and I'll see you guys in the next one.